Welcome to Ambrosines.Dollhouse. I am your hostess, Ambrosine, and tonight I'd like to share a story with you that I found on a subreddit. Have you ever wondered what would happen if you visited an abandoned town, whether it was intentional or on accident? After this story, I don't think you'll be wondering that anymore. I was 16 at the time of this event. My close friend Shella and I were driving back home from visiting distant family in West Michigan. Back then, I resided in Plymouth, Virginia. It was 11 o'clock p.m., and we were the only drivers out on this road. Mind you, I have never taken this path before, as I wanted to skip the toll roads this time. Shella and I were so busy in conversation that we haven't noticed coming upon an abandoned town somewhere in Pennsylvania. As we finally got hold of our surroundings, I had a horrible feeling in the pit of my stomach. My friend caught on as she asked me if I was alright. I replied, "Yeah, I'm okay. This town is pretty creepy though," I replied. I wasn't lying. There's things such as old houses with boarded up windows and closed town stores. Even cars and trucks were left abandoned. It honestly looked like a scene out of a horror movie. My friend and I drew silent. You could feel the drastic change in the air. It felt sinister. A couple of minutes of silence passed, and my car starts to shake. I realized that we were running out of gas. I totally forgot to stop and I was back in a different town. "Fuck!" I yelled, pulling over in front of yet another abandoned house. Oh, what a great place to break down," she laughed nervously. I nodded, agreeing with the sarcastic comment. I take my phone out to call roadside assistance that my parents had programmed into my phone. I didn't have the cell reception, so I got out of the car, and Sheila followed. This was now where things are starting to get really weird and scary. I am completely focused on getting reception, and I didn't realize that Sheena was staring completely ahead, looking terrified. She whispers my name before pulling on my shirt. She points ahead. There is a man standing 10 feet from us. I follow her gaze, and she was right. There was a man standing about 6'2" there, in front of my car headlights. How can anyone be here? This place is a dead town. I don't breathe or speak. My heart's in my stomach. But finally, Sheila speaks up. "Do you need something?" she calls out. Then he tilts his head and smiles widely, scaring us even more. At this point, I'm so terrified I can't even move. He just stares at us, smiling. "My dad's a cop, you creep," Sheila yells. That was a big mistake on our part. His expression turns to anger, and he starts to move towards us very fast. Our adrenaline kicks in, and we run to my car and lock the doors. We look up, and the man's gone. I was breathing so heavily, it was distracting me from the sound under the car. He was underneath my car. Sheller is screaming and tears flowing from her cheeks. I was trying to stay calm, praying to God for my phone to get service. Finally, I get 2 bars. I call the cops and alert them to what is happening. They respond with they'd be here in 20 minutes. By the time the phone call ends, the sound stops. I was on high alert, scared out of my mind. I'm hugged up against Shella, us both crying. Her face goes emotionless as she looks behind me at the back window. My heart tells me not to look, but I can't help it. I look. I wish I hadn't. That man and 4 others, 2 other men and 2 women. My heart dropped yet again. They all smiled. I realized they had bats and something else in their hands. But I could start to hear the police sirens and sigh in relief. Shada and I look to the front and see the cop car pulling up. I've never been so happy to see a police officer. By the time he walked to my car, the people had disappeared. I was so shaken up that I couldn't even explain to the cops what had happened. Shala did that for me. They offered to get gas, but instead, I begged them to stay with us and bring us to a hotel in a very populated area and call my parents to come get us. To this day, the cops never found those people or where they could have possibly come from. My guess was they reside in one of the old abandoned buildings. I hope they block this town off someday. I never took the back ways again.
I hope that you guys like this narration. And leave a comment. If I can, I'll go ahead and reply to your comments that you may have. Keep in mind that this was a true story. And don't forget, bring your dolls. We're gonna have fun in my little dollhouse.